right, everybody, welcome back to the Fatfueledfamily YouTube channel. We are trying to do more than one video per quarter.
Per year? One video a year?
I've been doing
a quarter. That's going...
No, we're good. We're right around that right now.
One a quarter. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
No, you know, the thing is that usually when we're together, we're recording the podcast. So today we don't have someone to record with, which I'm very happy because we can actually start to get through this list of topics that we want to do for the YouTube.
Yeah, we have a lot of ideas.
Yeah. So today we're going to start off with intuitive versus tracking, because she and I cannot be further apart as far as what we do. So
yeah, and we always get so many questions. Like, I'm always getting questions about my macros and should I track and should I not track? And honestly, I don't think it's that easy. I think that there's a few things that go into it, and that's what we're going to talk about and give you our opinion, since we are literally polar opposites when it comes to this topic. I always say that Danny's going to be like a 90-year-old man, and he's going to be like, I forgot to enter my food. He's going to be...
It's OCD, man.
You know, it's true.
Major OCD, I know.
He's going to be weighing his like food till like he's going to be in the hospital bed like, did you weigh how many ounces? One
day I'll get away from it. I plan on doing it.
And this is all part of it. And we're going to talk about, so, okay, so right off the bat, you can't just be I'm an intuitive person, okay? So, I'm an intuitive person and Danny is not.
I'm a tracker.
A tracker, like hardcore tracker. And even for me, someone who finds it pretty easy to be intuitive, I can't be intuitive following a certain diet. So when I was doing If It Fits Your Macros, and when you're eating standard amount, I love that. It's like one of the best, what do they call that?
Acronyms?
Yeah, one of the best acronyms like ever. SAD diet, because it's depressing at best. If you're eating a standard American diet or, you know, low fat and low carb diet, or low fat, high carb diet, I found that I was like just hungry all the time. My hunger signals are not regulated. And so it wasn't easy for me to be intuitive eating that way.
Me either.
But with that said, before we were keto, I found it very easy to be intuitive when I was paleo, which was higher fat. We did have some higher carbs, and by high carb I mean like under 100 probably daily, yeah. And yeah, it was just much easier for me to be intuitive and listen to my body, because I'm not spiking my blood sugar all day and like my hormones are all out of whack. So that's number one. Number two is huge here. So this is where I think the main part of this is your personality type. So we're both type A. I never saw myself as type A because I thought people that were type A had to be OCD. But the funny thing is that I'm OCD about other things.
Yeah. Plus you're very controlling.
And I'm also very controlling.
But so am I.
And it sucks, honestly. It sucks because it's hard for me to ever ask for help because I'm a control freak. So like it has to be done the way I want to do it. And like, I don't think, yeah. So look.
By the way, how ridiculous do I look like sitting so low like this? It's the only way I could fit in the frame.
I don't understand why you're so low. Because then I feel like I'm like...
Yeah, but it's the only way my head fits in the frame. I have my seat all the way down. Okay,
so Danny, why don't you talk a little bit about why it's hard for you to be intuitive?
Yeah, so I have a history of like, let's see, it's going to be, I'm 38 today. So we're going on like 20 something years of blowing past satiety ever since I was on purpose. Yeah. So like when I was younger, and this is one of the things I used to tell people all the time when they're like, oh, I'm eating so much and I can't gain weight. And I'm like, you're not eating enough, man.
Yeah, you're not.
You're never, that's the biggest thing. You don't understand. It has to be uncomfortable. Yeah, it is uncomfortable. And like strong men, if you look at, I think it's called Den of Giants or something. It's a documentary on strongmen. The hardest thing to do is eat. Yeah, because you're eating all day.
Yeah, it's like it's like a full-time job.
And you're not eating listening to your body at all. You're eating because you need to pile on the calories. And so I did that forever. Like when I was in high school, it was, you know, rice, beans, meat, McDonald's.
Everything.
McFlurries, Whoppers, fries.
Those are my
the McFlurries. I used to get the Oreo and the M&M mixed together. And you know, just all those years. And then in college, it was worse because I got to college at 210 and then I got to like 230 by my sophomore year because it was all you can eat. You know, so I could have like all the burgers, and I had this. I told you about
Danny's
this, right?
one of those people that like makes the all-you-can-eat places like uncomfortable. Like they're like, you need to leave.
We didn't think this was.
We didn't think this
plan for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I had this weird thing where I would add blue cheese to everything.
That sounds
so
good,
I
though.
added blue cheese to my burgers, blue cheese to my chicken, everything.
Just to add on the calories.
Yeah, just to add on the calories, and so
and then
because
the Publix chocolate chip cookies. That's.
Oh my gosh, I would eat those whole things. Do you remember? I still did it on our cheat days. Like I would just, it was ridiculous. Yeah. And you know, 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, and she was always like really surprised that I ate them. Not only that I ate them, but how quickly I ate them. Yeah,
it's never about how much he eats. It's how fast he eats that quantity to where it's almost like supernatural, really. Like, I'm like, did I just witness some like...
I just sat down to eat.
It's magic. Like, they just put my food down. I like took a picture and took a bite, and I look up and you're like on your last bite, and it was like a 30-ounce ribeye. And I'm just like, what's happening?
And that's why I can't do intuitive, because like it's taken me years to try to. And when I do intuitive, also I tend to eat more. Now what's the difference?
Intuitively wants to eat everything.
I intuitively want to eat it all. So for me, it's like I'm boxing myself in and giving myself some boundaries. But for you, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. So, and just to like finish up like on your personality type, another thing is you love it, right? Like I love to track. Yeah. Enjoy tracking. He is, I mean, if you haven't noticed, if you've been following us up to this point, he's always doing some like experiment that I'm like always like, like the eye roll.
When I try to explain it to her, I've given up already. I don't want to, because I don't like the reactions that I'm getting. So I'm like, you know what? But I have other friends I could talk to this about. I don't need to talk to you about this.
It's not that I don't care about the experiment. It's that for me,
the numbers are disorienting.
The numbers disorient me. Like I don't even know what you're saying.
And you like to see it.
You know, like A Beautiful Mind. Like I'm like, I might as well look at that. Like that's what you're telling me.
And I'm like, it's easy. It's just this day I do 500% of this and 427
and I'm just
milligrams.
like getting dizzy. So
yeah, I know.
But then I get it. And also I have to just like, that's not how I learn. You know, like I just like, okay, I'll watch you do it and then I'll know what you're doing. Like I'll know what you're doing when you're doing it. So, but also it's very enjoyable for But
I've learned so much. I can tell you like what my best GKI is. I feel my best with my GKI, which is a glucose ketone index under 5. Yeah, I know a lot about myself.
Yeah, so those are the pros. Like there is pros and cons to everything. So he thoroughly enjoys tracking. Now, for me, it's another chore, to be honest. Like it's just something else on my never-ending to-do list, and I'm like, sorry, I had to bathe my kid today.
Storage
I didn't
full.
have time. Storage full. Couldn't remember to do that other task. Like, sorry, I had to clean my kitchen. I don't know. But not just that, but then there's also cons to that. So see, I don't know those things, and like sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I would know. Like sometimes like all that information, it's very useful to be in tune with your body. But I guess we're in tune in different ways. Like you're in tune because I'm very in tune with my body, and I feel like I know how things affect me because I am more intuitive. So like for you, you are getting that knowledge of how your body works through all the data that you collect. You're like a little collector, like a data collector. You're just collecting all this data, and then you're like, these are mine. So and me, I'm just like, I have all the data. Like I have a headache. Like there you go. I have a massive headache. I feel horrible
headache today. Or tired or
tired and stuff like that. So
you never fart though. That's the problem. I'm just like, I wish for once she would just fart, because like, you know, it's like the worst thing. Like she doesn't get the stomach upset like that way, which is just
I'll just go to the bathroom.
Frustrating.
Diarrhea or something. And that's what like the sweeteners. That's what the sweeteners. But that doesn't even happen anymore because guys,
it's been a while.
I don't eat crap. I just make the choice. I love myself. I don't know, like it's been a process. I haven't always loved myself, so don't hate on me. Don't think I'm like some like special unrelatable person. Like it takes a lot of work and to get to this point.
And consistency.
And consistency and just like, you know, trust me. I've been very unhealthy. So back to the intuitive thing, like I'm the type of person, like perfect example was when we were paleo. If any of you guys have heard about the paleo diet, you might have heard of Whole30, right?
Oh yeah.
Every time that I said I was going to do a Whole30, like right away, I just failed.
Like the second day.
The minute. But it's funny because I probably ate better off Whole30 than on Whole30. And so like, that's how I am. If I say I'm fasting, I'm like, oh, I'm starving.
Yeah.
I'm hungry now. I can't say it. It has to happen naturally for me. And so sometimes the tracking makes me overeat sometimes because I don't think that like that whole like one set of calories for every day doesn't make sense in general because you're not having the same activity level every day. Like you're not doing the same things every day. And so there were days that I was full and if I would have listened to my body, I wouldn't have eaten more, but I had this many calories.
300 calories left.
300
so
calories left
those extra
on
calories.
my FitnessPal. And I was like, maybe I should just eat something then. So that's something to take into account. And that is a huge part of whether or not you should track or not track, or, you know, the type of people who hate it or love it. Yeah.
So let's talk about transitioning to intuitive, because I think this is a really good way. I have actually done this. You've done this. So what are the ways for people to, if they want to get away from MyFitnessPal and they want to step away from that addiction to tracking?
So if you want to kick your MyFitnessPal addiction, okay, because some people might not want to, and that's okay. Like track, if you're enjoying it, more power to you. Now I'm talking to the people who maybe feel like they have to, that they don't like trust themselves, or they really want to, like they hate it and they want to get away from it, but they're worried that they're going to overeat and they're going to gain like 20 pounds in a week. This is a little trick that I've used myself and that I've used with some of my coaching clients. I've shared it with Danny. He's gonna use it now when he's gonna try to transition. Let's see what happens. Yeah,
if this month goes well with my paleo carnivore experiment, then next month I want to do it without tracking. This month I'm tracking everything, like keeping protein the same, just because I want to see how I do with each one if protein's the same. But next month I can just do it intuitively if it feels good.
So here's my trick. So if you're tracking and you want to get away from that, what you can do is for like the first week or so, really until you feel comfortable, I mean, here's the thing, guys. It's not like you're eating somewhere different every day. You know what I mean? If you are, then that's going to be much harder. But for the most part, no, and I feel like most people, like, because people are busy, for the most part, you guys are eating probably the same few foods throughout the week, you know, like your eggs in the morning. Like most people tend to stick to their meals that they like. Yeah,
there's a set of about 10 meals that we eat, and we rotate them every month, and we don't even know it. We just always
and
right around 10 different meals.
Most people do that. So I say just eat what you usually eat and listen to your body, and then at the end of the day, enter your food to see where you're at. Just to enter it, not to go crazy and be like, oh my gosh, I'm off.
And don't get mad at yourself if it's like 500 calories more than what you think you're supposed to be eating, because we don't know, really. Right,
but just use that as a tool to learn about yourself. So you're like, okay, today I'm over. This is what happened. This is what this is how I ate. This is how I feel. So maybe I was hungrier, you know, and then just do that for a few weeks, and eventually you'll feel comfortable knowing whether you're going over or not. And also, I know a lot of people, and this is also a personal thing, a lot of people don't, like, they hate the scale. I get it. I get the hating the scale. If you're one of those people that gets super caught up on the number
and stressed
and super stressed out about the number, I don't recommend this. But if you cannot be obsessed with it and just take it, because here's the thing, I also hate when people say just ditch the scale, because no, it doesn't lie. Like, it can lie, it can be a liar, and I don't think it tells the whole story.
Good point. Yeah.
But it is a tool, and it's one measure that you can take that, for me, you know, especially if it's like a big jump, like throughout the holidays, like during Christmas, like I literally gained like 7 to 10 pounds. Like I was up 10 one day and I was like, okay, you're not lying.
I gained like 12 pounds or something.
And then also, you know, so that's one measure. Oh, what's the other measure? I've been pigging out and eating whatever I want. Going to bed absolutely stuffed to my face, like
all the keto desserts.
Yeah,
all the
so
keto
now
treats.
the scale is making sense. It's aligning with my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now, if the scale is not moving at all and you're eating good, your clothes fit great, you look leaner, you're probably changing your body composition. So just, but that's like a way to know, like when you're going to go off the tracking, I think you should maybe.
Yeah, it's like a nice little bridge from.
It's a bridge, yeah. And then just, like we talked about the food options, most people have few meals, but if you don't and you're always like trying to switch it up, I don't recommend that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, you know, when you're having all these, and that's the problem. I think a lot of people eat out, you know, and that's why, you know, we cook a lot of our food so we don't eat out that much.
But I feel like for the most part, our audience, like if they're watching this and they are keto, they're probably not.
That's true. And a lot of you that are as obsessed with MyFitnessPal as I am will probably be able to tell me how many ounces of meat are on that plate, because you know what 8 ounces looks like, you know what 4 ounces looks like. So you can say that you're not going to track, but even if you're not tracking, you're probably tracking and doing a few numbers in your head.
Yeah, and you can do that. You can eyeball something, like if you've been tracking and weighing food, like Danny, even I'm pretty good at it. Like I'm pretty good at saying like, oh, that's 5 ounces, that's 6 ounces. You know, you can kind of gauge where you're at. And then just last tip for, and this is harder, this is something that you do have to practice day to day, is just being mindful, like mindful about your eating. So for most people, it's the nighttime. That's where you find yourself wandering into the kitchen, like you got like something took you, like you don't even, and then it's like you blacked out.
What happened?
And you're there and you're like, how did I get here? You know, just there's a space that happens. There's a space
between stimulus and response.
Stimulus and response. And so that's where the work has to happen. And ask yourself questions. Ask yourself questions.
Maura has been doing this for years. And I come up to her and I'm just like, I found this amazing thing called mindful eating. And she's like,
that's what I do every day.
She used to do, like in 2012, she used to be like, and she was brutally honest too. She was like, you're not hungry. You know, you're not
There's
actually
no
hungry.
way you're hungry.
You're not actually hungry.
Like actual hunger, like,
yeah.
You're not hungry. I saw what you just ate. There's no way that you're hungry. So.
And you were doing that with yourself. Okay,
So being mindful about your eating, ask yourself questions. Why am I here? What am I looking for? What's that quote? I love it. Like,
if you're not hungry, then what you're looking for is not in the kitchen.
It's not in the kitchen.
You got to ask yourself if you're hungry first.
Yeah.
And then if you're not hungry, you got to say, why do I think I have to eat?
And sometimes another thing that's very helpful with the mindful eating that I've told others that I've done with even like other behaviors that I'm trying to get away from is actually replacing the behavior. So saying to yourself, like, if I find myself in the kitchen, I'm going to stretch instead for 10 minutes.
Maura likes to go to sleep.
I just go to sleep. I'm tired anyways. I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm not even gonna deal with this. I'm gonna rest, and then I don't even want to get up. But Danny will get up though. Yeah. Or just choosing another behavior. So say you're gonna go walk around the block for a minute. It doesn't even have to be that long. Trust me. That we think that it's like so strong that urge. But once you practice this for a while, you'll see that it goes away. Like it just really does go away, and it's not that hard to just replace the behavior to where your mind is off of it now. Yep. So stretching, a meditation, of course, a walk, you know, if you have kids, like read a story to your kids, like just do something else to take your mind off of that. Cause you get into that, like, what can I eat? And like, it's like this battle in your head. Like then it becomes like, cause we all do it, you know? So yeah, those are some of our tips for whether you should be intuitive, track, and yeah. I don't know why I'm blanking out, but what I wanted to say, this is not getting edited either, I don't care. If you guys like what we're putting out, please subscribe to the channel, please share it, and what else? And give us suggestions, like these are the types of videos we're going to be doing, because the vlogging style, just with our crazy family, is just not
That's what the Facebook Lives are for.
That's what the Facebook Lives
Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, our Fat Fueled Family Facebook will be doing Facebook Lives. We've already done 2 weeks and we've had a great response. We did do a giveaway last week, so there will be giveaways every now and then. So
yeah. So, but yeah, if you guys have any ideas for topics that you want us to cover, we'd love to help you guys find practical ways of solving problems like this.
Yep.
So
until next time.